What's up idols, it's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for clicking on this video. Guys, today we have 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 story. These are all about separate Spycam incidents, very recent Spycam incidents in South Korea.
Oh shit, here we go again.
These stories have been accumulating for the past few months or so, but because they've all been so short, I figured, you know what, maybe I can compile them once we get enough of them. And unfortunately that day has come because we have 3 to share today. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. The first story comes from Anna and Elsa. They're best friends, but they're also like sisters, hence the Anna and Elsa name request. Anna and Elsa were studying in South Korea for like a summer exchange program, so they're only there for like 3 months. Now if you know anything about South Korea, you know during summer, it's Jangma, the rainy season. Because there was a lot of rain and hella humidity, they found a lot of indoor activities to do for fun. Shopping underground, going to the movies, aquariums, restaurants, visiting museums, and of course bar hopping. And this particular day was no different. So yeah, not only was it horribly rainy and incredibly humid, they were just miserable. They said we need to get inside where there's some AC. Personally, I don't fuck with Korean summers for that very reason. I'm not a summer girl just in general. So yeah, these girls spent a lovely Saturday afternoon enjoying the air conditioning, hopping from building to building. They did not want to be outside. So they spent the whole day doing that. And when it went into the evening, they said, let's transition this to the bar scene. It's a Saturday night. They decided it would be nice to get dressed up and go out for some drinks. So Anna is the drinker, Elsa is not. Elsa's more of a people watcher. She says she likes to watch people throughout the night, see who's going home with who, and watch them rapidly deteriorate over the night, getting drunker and drunker. Is that a word?
No!
Getting more and more drunk. And basically she ends up being the babysitter. She's the one who watches Anna to make sure she doesn't drink too much and to make sure she doesn't wake up in a strange and unfamiliar place.
Who are you people?
So they hit up a few bars near Hapjeong. If you guys know Hapjeong, it's actually a few, maybe 1 or 2 stations away from Hongdae. So the first place they went to was great. Nothing really to note. Great friendly staff, nice music, good cheap drinks. But when they went to their second place, that's when things started to take a turn. You know how when you drink, you gotta go to the bathroom and you try to hold it because once you break the seal, then it just keeps coming. And the drunk starts to wear off a little bit once you, well, or maybe that's just me. When I start to go to the bathroom, I get sober. But I get it, people don't want to break the seal. So they're at the second bar, also in Hapjeong, and Elsa escorts Anna to the bathroom. So Anna goes in, Elsa decides to look in the mirror, touch up her makeup, fix her hair a little bit. It is humid after all. So she's redoing her makeup, she gets a napkin from her purse and wipes some flaky mascara off of her cheek. Now when she goes to bin said napkin, throw it away in the trash can, she sees something peculiar. She sees something that she describes as like a small mini rectangular GoPro. And she was intrigued by this. So Elsa actually picked it up to get a better look at this small thing in the trash can, like on the lid of the trash can. And when she looked closer, she saw something that looked like where the wire was cut or torn, and then someone tried to throw it away. So yeah, she lost it when she realized it was a camera.
Hell no, to the no, no, no.
So with this realization, she's trying to rush Anna out of the bathroom. She's like, girl, put your clothes on, we gotta go. So then Anna gets out and she's like, girl, what? Like, what's wrong with you? So Elsa shows Anna what she's been freaking out about, and Anna's like, what is that? Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. So then Elsa says she thinks it's a spy cam. And Anna's a little buzzed. She's had a few drinks. So she takes this and she beelines it for the bar, trying to find somebody who works there. She went to one bartender and she didn't know what this was. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. Then she goes to like a coworker who's another bartender and he knows exactly what it is. He asked them to show them exactly where they found it. They said, yeah, we found it in a lady's bathroom on this trash can, I'll show you. So he runs in to inspect this immediately, very concerned. He knocks first to let women in there know they should get out of the bathroom immediately. He decided to go and check for more spy cams, but luckily he didn't find any. It appears that some girl might have used the bathroom and found this camera and destroyed it because like the wire looked like it was cut or ripped or something. She might have been a little buzzed or drunk and just like, 이거 왜, and just like, kojo, pyeontek, just mad and threw it away and didn't report it. But like the wire was still hanging out over the bin. Apparently though, there's a reason the bartender pounced in the bathroom when he saw this, because he said they had issues with this before. Last time it happened, they had to call the cops. Apparently some guys who visit the bar can easily sneak into the women's bathroom and then before they leave the bar, take their camera out with them and review the footage later. He thanked them for showing him the spy cam. He also apologized and told them to be careful. It's a problem they're dealing with right now in Korea. He told them to be careful when they use public restrooms, especially if something looks out of place or if there's a loose tile. I'm like, they hide shit behind loose tiles, bruh?
디스커스팅한 냄새가 나요. Disgusting shit. 저요.
Anna and Elsa, I am so sorry y'all had to go through that, but thank you so much for sending in the story, and I know it took a while for me to get to this. They had to send this to me back in like September, October. Thank you for your patience. Now we're gonna slide into the second story. This one's a little saucy. Buckle up. This story comes from Alex. She says she always heard about the spy cam issues in Korea. It's one of those things where it's like, damn, that's crazy. But it won't happen to me. I mean, what are the odds?
What you say?
She never thought she'd be a victim of it, and it's not a story she's necessarily proud of, but she still wanted to warn you guys. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I know, I should know better, but it still happened. So Alex met a guy on Tinder. Good old Tinder. It was one of those incidents where she was looking for a hookup. So she swiped right on the guy swiped right on her. She thought he was really cute and she was very excited to meet him. He sent the first message and he says, "Hey sexy, you looking for fun?" And because she was, she said, "Yeah, you seem like a fun guy."
I'm a fun guy.
So they had a bit of small talk first, which was a shock to her because she gets matches, but no conversations. So we're gonna call this guy Bomgyu. That's what she called him. I don't know if that's his real name, but we're gonna call him Bomgyu. They talked about music and fashion and travel and their mutual love for cooking. And before she knew it, he was inviting her to his place. Bringing him to her place wasn't really an option because she has nosy neighbors and thin walls. So she was more than down to go to his place. They talked a bit about what they were into, what they do to each other, what they liked. She liked his little freaky conversation and he was a bit of a dominant guy and that's what she was looking for. So let's skip ahead to the night where stuff hit the fan. Bomgyu sent Alex his address and waited for her to arrive. She decided to bring condoms in case he was gonna be one of those dudes like, oh, like, I'm Korean, so I don't really need to wear them. I don't have any. But he actually did have his own on standby, so double prepared. So when she arrived at his place, she was surprised by the state of his apartment. She knew he had roommates, but she was surprised it wasn't more clean. Like, when you know somebody's about to come over, don't you try to tidy up a little bit? She said his bed was the only thing neat and made up and smelled nice. Like, she could tell the sheets were clean and changed and everything, but the rest of the place...
Ugh. Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
So first he offered her a drink and thought that might be a nice way to break the ice a little bit. They can both have a few shots and talk. Now as they drank, he like invited her to sit on his bed and she was fine with that because that was like the only neat and clean looking place in this room. It didn't seem weird to her at the time, but of course now it does. There was like a particular spot. He's like, yeah, sit right here. So they're sitting there, they finished their drinks, and while the lights are still on, he started to put his moves on her. Like they're making out, touching each other. He goes to take off her shirt, but before he can, she asks if they can turn the lights off. She's a bit insecure about her body. We all been there. She would rather see things in the dark. Bomgyu said it would be better with the lights on because he wants to see her sexy body. But she started to shut down. She wasn't, so into it anymore. Not with the lights on, no. When Bomgyu clocked this, though reluctantly, he did decide to turn off the lights. So now she's back in it. She's back in the mood. She lets him take her shirt off. She takes his shirt off. She lays down on the bed. He's kissing her on her neck. So she's like turning her head, but also, like half eyes closed, but scanning an unfamiliar environment while her eyes adjust to the dark. Now, when she turned her head, she saw what she thinks to be a faint red flickering light. And with that, she froze. Alex immediately asks him, hey, what's that? And he's like, what's what? So she points in the direction of where this light is coming from. He says, huh? Oh, that. Maybe that's my console or my charger.
Stop the cap. Lie.
So she tries to go in for a better look, but he's trying to distract her and kiss her more. So she decides to turn on the lights after this. She's not feeling it. She wants to know what that red light is. So when she gets in closer, she sees a lens.
Oh no. No.
Now that she knows what it is, she rushes to put her shirt back on. She's cursing him out like, what is that? What is this? Why is that a lens? Why is that a camera facing towards the bed?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
And she also threatens to call the cops. And she's asking him if that's the reason he wanted to keep the lights on. Because think about it. The subject is better lit with the light on. And also, when the room has lights, you're less likely to notice a red one. In the dark, the one light stands out a bit more, doesn't it? So Bomgyu's denying and he's telling her it's nothing, not to worry.
Oh my god. Stop your fucking lying.
So she's not having any of it and she does indeed call the cops. He kept explaining it's not what it looks like, but eventually, because she wouldn't believe him, he started to usher her out of his apartment. like while she's speaking to the police. He's like getting her closer and closer towards the door as she says, "Wait, I'm calling the cops." But eventually she got out of his apartment because he wanted her out. But she decided to wait outside of the apartment until the police came. And she did end up waiting for a while, but when they showed up, there was an English-speaking officer, and she thinks that might have been the reason for the delay. So a few of the officers went inside to question him, and a few of the officers stayed outside to question her. She said this was so embarrassing to explain to police officers that she was here with a dude she just met like yesterday on Tinder for a hookup. So after about 10 minutes, they left his apartment with the camera in a little baggie, like little evidence baggie. He wasn't arrested or anything. He got to stay in his apartment.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back.
And eventually the police left. So Alex was pissed when she saw that because she's like, what? That's it? Like nothing else is gonna happen? The only update she got was when they called her to ask her a few more questions about a week later. And apparently whatever they decided and ruled, it led to him going on probation and paying a fine. Nothing more happened, no jail time, no real consequences. She said the fine was something minor and minuscule. In USD, it amounted to about $100. So of course it's common sense to not go to a stranger's place. She knows that, she knew that, but she just wanted to remind you of what can happen when you get caught slipping. Like, she knew better, but she did it anyway. And it's a lesson learned, and she wants to share this lesson with you guys. Alex, I know that wasn't easy to share. I hope your parents ain't watching. Thank you so much for telling us this story. I'm already paranoid about being watched and shit. Do you know how much I scanned this place when I first got here? I can only imagine what it's like to actually catch someone trying to record you without you knowing. Especially when Jung Jun-young just got out of prison after 5 years, the whole Burning Sun scandal. He was in that group chat bragging to his friends and peers about how he got all these girls on camera and didn't know they were on camera and took advantage of them in unconscious states. Like, it was a lot. I can't believe he got out already. Like, that was a quick 5 years. I do remember he wrote a letter to show his remorse, and it reduced his sentence by like a year or two.
Know your fucking place, trash.
Anyway, for this last story, it was submitted by a girl who asked to be called Tia. This one is a way more casual story. It's likely to happen to anybody, no matter how smart or how cautious you try to be. So Tia decided to take a 2-week vacation to Seoul. She was ready to live it up. Full disclosure, Tia loves Korea. She had a great time in Korea. She made some great memories, had some yummy food, and met some of the greatest people. But unfortunately, there's one incident that was a sore spot on her 2-week trip to Korea. Yikes. So, she only had 2 weeks to do everything she possibly could before she had to go back home and go to work. One day, she decided to do some shopping in preparation for a concert, and she had to go to the bathroom. Now, she was trying her best to hold it because a lot of the bathrooms she came across were like the squatter toilets, and I'm not gonna lie, the squatter toilets are not that common anymore. In older buildings, older facilities, yeah, you're gonna see some squatter toilets. But I think, in my opinion, more commonly, you'll see like the more traditional Western toilets we're used to, and even a lot of bidets. So she was trying to hold it because she didn't want to get low and squat over the ground to use the squatter toilet. But one day she couldn't hold it anymore. She finally went to a bathroom, and luckily for her, it was not a squatter toilet. But because she'd been holding it all day in fear of coming across another squatter toilet, she had to go. So she goes into the stall, and she was about to pull her pants down when she heard commotion in the stall next to her. All she hears is Korean and panic. So she goes out of the stall and speaks the little bit of Korean she knows. 왜 그래? 왜 그래? 괜찮으세요? And the girl gestures to something in the bathroom that she found, like pointing. Basically, this girl found a fucking spy cam in the bathroom stall. Why are there 2 story times in this video about public bathroom spy cams?
Tell me why.
So she calls in her friend who's a Korean, and they all start to panic. They're speaking, and Tia's doing her best to understand what they're saying. So the freaked out girl calls who she assumes to be some sort of like metro police, because when he showed up, they were not actual like traditional police officers. They look like they help people cross the street and stuff, crossing guards. And that actually kind of makes sense because the one time I saw like a spy cam sweep or check, it was in a public bathroom. I think we were in a subway station near Myeongdong, and it was like several female police officers, but they were like metro looking police. I can't describe it, but they weren't like the police that arrive when you call 999 114 112. And I remember they came out, they like left the bathroom with a bag full of a bunch of little cameras. And that was the moment I decided I will never use a public Korean bathroom. And I've held that stance since 2018. Anyway, yeah, apparently she found this spy cam hidden in like a spare toilet paper roll. Usually, you know, I hate to say it, but like In public bathrooms, like, because you know in Korean bathrooms, you don't flush a lot of times, especially if it's an older toilet, you don't flush, you just put your waste tissue in the bin. So a lot of the times, the bins get overflown and people don't want to like stuff things down there because there's stuff on napkins in that area. So you'll just take the paper towel roll and kind of toss it. So when these officers came to remove it, they decided to check all 4 stalls. And guess what? They found cameras in all 4 stalls.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out.
She says she can't stop thinking about the fact, like, that girl just sounded so mortified. Like, she thought she was being murdered in the stall next to her. She was scared. Like, I can't imagine having my privacy violated like that. Just trying to use the bathroom. We all have to use the bathroom. That is like one of the few things in life that should be completely. Even your partner, someone you love and trust intimately, doesn't watch you pee and poop. And she said it's just so crazy because she didn't put herself in any sort of risky situation. She didn't do anything crazy or spontaneous. She just tried to go to the bathroom. So yeah, Tia. I'm sorry, this is another one that kind of took me a while to get to. I'm so sorry. But like when they're shorter stories, then I try to keep them together with other similar stories. So it's not like a 2-minute video or 5-minute video. In order of oldest to most recent, Anna and Elsa. And then this one, and the most recent, that was the longest one that I just shared, was Alex's story with the hookup thing and Tinder and Spycams in the bedroom. And by the way, I don't want to make it seem like this is just a Korea issue. Like, we've heard many stories, even in the States, where Airbnbs, you find a fucking spy camera in the metal detector, smoke alarm, fire detector, or behind a plant, or in a teddy bear facing the bed, nanny cams. Like, I'm not trying to say it's just Korea, but it is notably a lot more common in Korea. It's a fucking epidemic there. So ladies and gents, please be careful. Be aware of your surroundings, and it sucks that you do have to be on the lookout for things like this. So that is it for this story time. If you guys want to see more crazy dating in Korea story times like this, warning foreigners about life in Korea sort of thing, or even some happy love stories in Korea, please check the playlist about to pop up on the end screen. Thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Annyeong!